We have a lot of folks on our platform that hang on every word that you say, Jeffrey. We have a lot of folks on our platform that hang on every word that you say, Jeffrey.
Do you want to be a value investor or do you want to be a momentum investor?
I like buying stuff that's cheap.
I like buying stuff that's cheap.
Sell it too early.
And I usually sell it too early. If you're a momentum investor, I think it's kind of like being a roulette wheel player that somehow has a strategy that works as long as it doesn't come up on the 0 or double 0. I'm not a momentum investor at all.
I'm sort of an anti-momentum investor. In fact, I'm sort of an anti-momentum investor.
At this point, I would say the FANGs are for momentum investors only.
Have you ever owned Bitcoin?
No.
Have you ever owned Bitcoin?
No.
Have you ever owned Bitcoin?
No.
And I think Bitcoin is for momentum investors only. Bonds were a necessary evil and somebody had to do it. I got shoved in there. Bonds were a necessary evil and somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to do it.
At some point in 2022, I think you're supposed to buy emerging market stocks. They are so cheap compared to the United States stocks by historical standards.
Is China still an emerging market?
Of course not.
Is China still an emerging market?
Of course not. Of course not. China is uninvestable in my opinion at this point. I've never invested in China, long or short. I don't trust the data. I don't trust the relationship between the United States and China anymore. I think that investments in China could be confiscated. I think the US dollar reserve currency situation is getting more near an end game. Weirdly, when they do bond buying, yields go up. A lot of people don't think that that should happen, but it has happened without exception. It's in the next recession, I think, that we're going to see dollar weakness. The dollar is very, very overvalued versus our twin deficits, one of my most trusted indicators. It's something that has like an 8-year cycle. As overvalued as stocks are by historical comparisons, using the S&P as a proxy, they're actually cheap to bonds. If you use the European CPI methodology, our CPI right now would be at 7.8. The PPI leads the CPI. The PPI leads the CPI. The PPI leads the CPI. Look at the increase in home prices. I like buying quality. I've never really loved junky stuff. I believe when it comes to art, just like when it comes to real estate, you should really buy the highest quality. They can appreciate very steadily. You know, if someone says that they write poetry, you should ask them to give you a couplet. And if they say they can't remember one, they don't write good poetry. The relationship between the size of the Fed's balance sheet and the market cap of the S&P 500 is what I call Gundlach's law of financial physics. Here, I don't think a lot of Fed officials and economists and investors appreciate the fact that the economy keeps buckling at lower and lower interest rates.